Hello guys and welcome to my chapter review of chapter 262 of Tokyo Revengers. And the title for chapter 262 is called To Rout and Ravages. At the beginning of this chapter we see that Chifuyu and Takemichi are standing back to back, and they are being surrounded by Mikey, Sanzu, and Hanma. Chifuyu yells out and he says that as long as Takemichi is standing he will protect him no matter what. And we see the reaction of Mitsuya, Inupi, and Senju, and they are all very impressed that Chifuyu is still standing. Mitsuya says, "Chifuyu." And Inupi says, "No way, that guy is still standing?" And Senju is just watching Chifuyu, and she has blood all over her face. And then Chifuyu screams out that Toman will never lose. Chifuyu says, "Bring it on, Kanto Manji gang. Let's settle this right now." We see the reaction of Takemichi, Mikey, Sanzu, and Hanma, and Takemichi started crying because he was very happy that Chifuyu has his back. In the next page Mitsuya started screaming, and he also got back on his feet. Mitsuya said that Chifuyu gave him the spirit to get back up, and while he says this Mitsuya is smiling. And then Mitsuya says, "It's not the end for Toman yet, right guys?" And in the next page we see that all the Toman members got back up. Inupi, Koko, Pachin, Pei, and all the Mizo middle school members are all standing back up. We also see that Smiley and Angry are both back on their feet, and they said that there is no way they can just sit back and do nothing. And we also see that Senju got back on her feet. And Senju just says, "That's right, what the hell am I wasting time for?" In the next page we see Senju stand up with a straight posture, and we can also see that she is still bleeding from her face. And then Senju says, "Let's finish this once and for all." Suddenly Taiju screams out the words, "Tokyo Manji gang," and Taiju starts holding the gang's flag at the same time. In the next panel we see that Taiju Shiba is back on his feet. And we see that Taiju has reunited with Hakkai, and Hakkai is helping Taiju stand up. We also see that Taiju is holding the flag in his right hand, however Taiju's right foot is injured because he is only walking on one foot. And Hakkai is supporting Taiju by letting him lean on his body. We see that Taiju has a big smile on his face, and then Taiju says, "As if we're done yet." When Takemichi saw that Taiju was okay he became extremely relieved, and Takemichi started smiling, and then Takemichi says, "Taiju, you're alright?" We can also see the reaction of Sanzu when he saw that Taiju was still alive, and Sanzu looked very angry, and he also has many sweat drops on his face. Sanzu says, "Shit, so the wound wasn't that deep after all. I am very happy that the Taiju's injury isn't that deep, because I was very worried when Taiju got slashed by Sanzu's katana. And I thought that Taiju might be dead because of what happened to Kikucho, however in this chapter I am very glad that he is still alive and able to stand up." Anyway guys, we can see that the Toman members got back up, because they got motivated by Taiju's words. In the next page we see that over 20 members of Toman got back up and they all started cheering for Toman. When Shuji Hanma saw what happened he had a smile on his face, and he just said, "What the hell is this? These Toman guys are standing up." We also see that Takemichi had a big smile on his face, and he was very happy that his gang was able to get back up. In the next page we see Mikey, Sanzu, and Hanma, and they are all being surrounded by the Toman members. However, we suddenly see one of the black lines of Mikey's dark impulses, and it is right next to Mikey's left ear, and then Mikey just said that the cheering is so noisy. Mikey started walking towards Takemichi, and we see the panel that shows that his dark impulses have taken over his body. In the next panel we see a close-up of Mikey's eye, and we also see Takemichi. We see that Takemichi noticed the look in Mikey's eye, and Takemichi just realized that Mikey activated his dark impulses. And in this panel Takemichi has a very worried look on his face. And Mikey suddenly attacked Takemichi with a punch from his right fist, and this punch hit Takemichi directly in the face, and the punch sent Takemichi flying through the air. In the next page Chifuyu suddenly noticed that Takemichi got sent flying to the ground by Mikey, and Chifuyu became extremely worried for Takemichi, and he called out Takemichi's name. However, we see that Mikey was already winding up a kick from his left leg, and Mikey was about to attack Chifuyu. In the next page we see that Chifuyu had no time to react to Mikey's attack, and after being kicked in the face, Chifuyu got sent flying to the ground. Anyway guys, in the next page we see that Sanzu has a crazy smile on his face, and he looks very happy. And Sanzu just says, there they are. The dark impulses. And we see that Mikey started walking towards Sanzu, and Mikey stopped right in front of Sanzu. And then Sanzu tells Mikey that he has been waiting for this exact moment. However, Mikey does not reply, and he just stared at Sanzu. We see the reaction of Mitsuya, and Mitsuya just says, that's Mikey? In the next page, Mikey suddenly attacks Sanzu, and Mikey kicks Sanzu with a kick from his left leg, and this kick hits Sanzu directly in the neck. We see Sanzu's body hit the ground, and we see that he is completely knocked out by Mikey. Koko, Inupi and Hanma all became very surprised when they saw Mikey attack Sanzu, and Hanma just said Sanzu's name. And then Mikey just started walking towards Hanma. Hanma tried to reason with Mikey, and Hanma just said, "What's up, Mikey? Don't you know that Sanzu is on your side?" However, we see the reaction of Mikey, and Mikey does not care about anything that Hanma is saying. The look in Mikey's eyes has gone completely white, and his dark impulses have completely taken him over. And Mikey just replied to Hanma by saying, "So what?" And we see that Hanma has an extremely frightened expression on his face, and he has many sweat drops running down his face. In the next page, Mikey suddenly attacks Hanma with a kick from his left leg, and this kick sent Hanma flying through the air. We see the reaction of Mitsuya, and he was surprised that Mikey was attacking his own allies. In the next page, Mikey started attacking all the other Toman members, and we see that he is charging at Inupi and Senju. However, Mikey only attacked Inupi, and he did not attack Senju, and Mikey just punched Inupi in the face with a punch from his left fist. And the reason why I know that Mikey only attacked Inupi is because Inupi is wearing a white sash, and Senju is not wearing a sash, so this person has to be Inupi. Anyway guys, in the next panel Mikey started attacking all the other Toman members, and he was able to defeat over 20 members all by himself. We see Smiley and Angry, and Smiley stepped in front of Angry in order to protect him from Mikey, and Smiley just says, "Are you really Mikey?" However, Mikey does not listen, and he just punched Smiley in the face with a left hook, and this punch knocked out Smiley. And then Mikey immediately attacks Mitsuya, Pei, Pa-chin, and Taiju Shiba, and Mikey was able to knock all four of them out with only a single kick. Anyway guys, in the last page of this chapter we see all of the Toman members who are just laying on the ground, and they all got knocked out by Mikey. And we see Mikey who is just standing there, and we see all the defeated delinquents laying next to his feet. And in the very last panel we get a close-up of Mikey's face, and we see that he has his opponent's blood on his face and hair. Mikey just has a blank look on his face, and the look in his eyes are completely white, which is a sign that he is being completely taken over by his dark impulses. Mikey does not care who is friend or foe, and he will attack anyone who is in front of him. There is also a note from the editor that says, "The dark impulses wildly rage on. What do those empty eyes reflect?" Anyway guys, I want to talk about Sanzu, and I want to share a theory that I thought of after reading these last few chapters. First off, it seems like Sanzu is very happy whenever Mikey activates his dark impulses, and I think that Sanzu has been planning to make Mikey's dark impulses come out. I have many reasons why I think this, but the first one is because during the battle of the three deities, we see the reaction of Sanzu after Mikey kills South, and we see that Sanzu has a smile on his face, and he looks like he is very pleased with the fact that Mikey's dark impulses have been activated, so I think that this has been Sanzu's plan all along. Also because of the fact that Sanzu said that Mikey is destined to walk down the path of carnage, so I think that when he says this, Sanzu is actually talking about Mikey's dark impulses. The other reason why I think this is because in this chapter, when Sanzu sees that Mikey's dark impulses have been activated, he becomes very happy, and he has a crazy smile on his face. And Sanzu even says that he has been waiting for this exact moment to happen. So I think that this confirms that Sanzu's goal is to bring out Mikey's dark impulses, and I wonder how long Sanzu has been trying to reach this goal. I think that Sanzu has been planning this ever since the first day he saw Mikey's dark impulses, because there is also that line where Sanzu says that Mikey's fate has been sealed ever since he was a little kid. So maybe Sanzu has been planning this ever since the day that he got the scars on his face. Because in chapter 242 Sanzu, Baji, and Senju are the only people who saw Mikey's dark impulses. So I think that Sanzu has been planning this ever since the day that he saw Mikey's dark impulses for the first time. And also because Senju said that ever since that day, Sanzu completely changed, so maybe Sanzu changed in the way that he became completely obsessed with his plan. And I also think that Mikey's dark impulses are probably the reason why Sanzu is so obsessed with Mikey. And I think we will get a flashback about this in the next few chapters. Anyway guys, that was it for my chapter review of chapter 262 of Tokyo Revengers. Also let me know what you guys think of the chapter in the comments below. And like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one, and thank you for watching.